Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Let's continue with Master Xuanhua's Fochi instructions. We're on slide 218. We read through the text before last night. So let me go through the text tonight. So now you have recited past the 6th day. It's within T here. The recitation has been quite good, much more proper than before when reciting the Buddha's name, and it's also been a lot less talking. Bút chua, very good. Why does it say proper here? Okay. I am tripped by the word proper here because it's not part of the recitation Dharma door. And it turns out it's really not in the Chinese, original Chinese. Oh, Do Chen Jing.
正经
And that's proper? Oh.
It's more serious, more proper, more serious, more
concentrated.
More concentrated, generally describing more solid, more proper.
More in better form. But not proper. Proper has many, many meanings. In Buddhism, you don't use proper in this way. Anyway, so he says, I'm happy with the way you've been reciting. This is the 6th day now. And not only are you reciting it better, more properly, more in better form, in better technique. Okay, there's a technique to reciting a Buddha's name, and it naturally you naturally do it correctly. The longer you recite, okay, and also a lot less talking. He likes that. Those are the two things. What is in the past? You would recite the Buddha's name and take a break, and then take a break, and everybody would chat. Have a chat. Chatting is just a rest, but eat a little bit, enjoy a cup of coffee, eat or something. All right, so you take a break. And although this year those habits of eating, of drinking, of talking, of taking a break have lessened a lot, meaning people are more interested in reciting the Buddha's name than taking a break. That's a very good sign to him. Okay? And so that's what happens. You will enjoy when you recite properly, correctly, you will enjoy the recitation more than taking a break. That's a natural. It happens naturally. If you only give it a chance. It takes a while before you build a momentum and you get into the hang of it. You get a hang of it, but once you have it, you enjoy it. It's very much like in Chan, when the more you meditate, the more you enjoy Chan because you enjoy the bliss from meditation. Similarly, when you recite the Buddha's name long enough, continuously, the longer the better, the more continuously the better, then you will enter samadhi. It's a lot easier for you to enter samadhi. Okay? So, contrary to chant, in chant, if you have some chant skills, you probably can enter samadhi pretty quickly when you sit down, because the crossing of legs is designed to help you enter samadhi a lot faster. And when you enter that samadhi, your samadhi will be deeper. In contrast, the recitation Dhamma door, you won't be able to enter samadhi as quickly as if you were to cross your legs, okay? Because most of the time when you recite, you are not crossing your legs. And furthermore, that recitation samadhi you enter while reciting the Buddha's name, not crossing your legs will not be as deep as it were the case in a chan environment. This is why we prepare for the chan chi by building momentum through the Fo Chi like this. This is traditionally how it's done in Buddhism, in Mahayana, okay, and it works very well. So this is why the more skilled you are, the quicker you enter samadhi and you enjoy it. And actually, when you're able to concentrate and you feel more peaceful, more blissful, it happens naturally. You don't want to take a break anymore. Because taking a break is sort of like it forces you to exit that samadhi, and you won't enjoy it as much. Okay, the samadhi is a form of pleasure you experience that's kind of nicer than drinking and eating and talking to people. Okay, so it happens naturally, and he sees them as those habits of taking a break and taking coffee, drinking tea, and chatting, and so forth. Those are not the good habits. Actually, they're shortcomings. Shortcomings in the sense that you are indulging in false thinking. As you talk, as you take a break, you're more prone to false think than you were to recite the Buddha's name. Okay, so fundamentally, the techniques is there, and a beautiful thing about this is just do it. You don't need to understand. It's a matter of repetition. Okay, in fact, I met at Lu Mountain Temple. There used to be a woman who came from the Jing Kung, Master Jing Kung's group, and she's like been going there for a long, long time. She's a first stage arhat, and which is much better than the rest of them. I've been to their places. And the Chinese, the Chinese, the Taiwanese, the Asians, they recite a lot. They organize recitation, but they don't have the same kind of environment. So that's why very rarely you find people who have some kung fu with reciting Buddha's name. Why is that? It's because they get afflicted. They don't know what to do with it. We all get afflicted. This is the nature of the beast. When you come to a place with a lot of people, you're going to get afflicted. Someone will afflict you about one thing or the other. And for many of these people, they really are not trained how to handle those situations. Because these places, especially Jing Kung's places, they don't have anyone to lead them. It's basically get together and recite and recite and recite. Same thing. Whereas Master Xuanhua's Fo Chi, he's who's speaking Dharma. He's actually watching over people and then making small corrections for them. Okay? It makes a huge difference. When he was alive, after he's dead, I was there for 4.5 years. We did everything no differently from Jing Kung's group or whatever. It's just the same. We recite and that's it. Get afflicted and we run away or fight each other. And so this is really a luxury for those people back then, to have Master Xuanhua sort of watch over them and monitor their progress. Okay, so he says, you're doing good. That's good news for all those people. And also, I cannot say you have no habit energies. You have not completely cut them off, have not completely overcome them. Still a tiny bit of habit energy left. His tiny bit is exaggerating. Actually, you have a lot left. It's just that at the level, it's a huge difference in the people when they can experience the peace and the bliss from reciting. It's nice. Okay, so compared to that level of peace and bliss and the level of the natural state of affliction, is a huge difference. So it's not inaccurate to say a tiny bit left, but actually it's quite a bit left. Okay, so this is encouraging words. Inside the stomach, and so this habit energy here, he's making a analogy. He says this habit energy here is inside your stomach, and it wants to come out, and you can't stop it. It's going to force its way out. It's like giving birth to a child, and I don't know what he's talking about. I have no clues. Okay, maybe you can relate to this, because I don't. It's like giving birth to a child. No idea what he's talking about. The child hasn't forced himself out yet. Okay. Child's too heavy. Okay. You don't want him there. Okay. But there's a child inside of the belly. Jumps and jumps and wants to run out. Okay. That's your habit energy that he's talking about. Okay. And what are those habit energies? Those are the false thoughts of yours, shortcomings of yours. Not that you're a child, but that's like a child. Your false thoughts, your the need to come out, okay, from your belly, according to him. Tell me when to stop. Someone has a question? Okay, question.
Hello, Master. Vietnamese YouTube has a question.
Of course.
Go ahead. Ask, Venerable Master, in our Vietnam today, there are many people who use charm, black magic, voodoo, incantation to harm and deceive others. I would like to ask, is there any Dharma door to dispel and eliminate these curses and spell? So today he came back and he said, I respectfully bow to Master and entire assembly of the Dharma practitioner. I sincerely wish that the Dharma assembly to receive complete will perfectly accomplish the Buddha way, and that your blessings and wisdom will increase.
Who is this? The guy who throws voodoos at people, or this person who asked a question?
The same person asked the question yesterday at the last minute, and today he come back to
okay.
answer.
Okay, I'm sorry that it actually happens a lot in Vietnam, in Thailand, and everywhere in Korea. I've been to Korea and they do that too, and various countries. It happens here too. And because those people, they don't stay in one country, they move here. But their influence, their activities are actually very restricted here, because basically people here don't believe in those things. Okay, basically they work because there is some superstition, there is some conditions with them. Okay, in general. In general, we don't meddle in these issues because it's really, frankly speaking, it's none of our business. We cultivate not to meddle in other people's business. Okay, we don't. We simply don't. I'm sorry that you have some issues there, and locally, I know of some, for example, Master Old Abbot at DTT, his group, he knows of his group, they do mantras. The secret school group in Vietnam who actually practice on the fringes, that's what they do. They will accept your invitation to come over and meddle, okay? And we don't do that because it's my policy is live and let live. It's none of my business, okay? It's not up to me to play hero and help save people. I'm trying to survive here, okay? So I really hardly have time or energy to handle other issues. That's beyond the scope of my work. But you can get help from the Vietnamese, from a lot of monks and nuns who like to do that. And some of them are able to do. It's a matter of luck. You keep on looking and looking. I'm sure they will be able, you'll find someone who can help you. Okay? It's a nasty thing. I don't even allow my students to handle these things because they're very sticky. Once you pick a fight with them, you win, they don't let go. They come back with their brothers, with their mother, with their daddy and their grandfather, and on and on and on. They just don't let go unless you really hurt them. Okay? And therefore, it's a very tough situation that I know a lot of people in Vietnam, especially Master XC's group in Vietnam, they do this. They help a lot of people this way. I happen not to believe in doing that. The reason I don't help is because it doesn't solve the problems at all. It only temporarily suppresses a problem. It's like you have two people fighting because of the karmic conditions. Okay? They are harassing you, they're doing that to you because you owe them, practically. Okay? So there is karmic retribution being addressed, that being worked out. Who are we to walk in and say, no, you cannot do that? Okay? And that's preposterous of us to assume that we have the right to intervene because we're stronger. Okay, assume you're stronger and you can beat back this person, this ghost, and these voodoo people who are harassing you. The debt is not repaid yet. Your debt is still there. And this is why I forbid my disciples to intervene for this reason. You're not settling any problems. And don't compare. None of you can look at yourself as at the level of Master Shenhua. Master Shenhua would do it. It's okay. I will meddle. I'll fix it for you. You don't even know what he does. Let me tell you, I have no idea either. But let me tell you, you ask his disciples would not dare do it because we were forbidden to meddle as well in my generation. Okay? We have tools, we have weapons to do it, but basically it was not taught to me directly. But when I learned, I picked up those tools and weapons over there, and the first thing I was taught was to not meddle, because I could not handle it, especially if you're new. And let's say you just were given a weapon, let's say a sword, and you hardly just learn how to swing it. And then someone comes over and asks you to help, and you swing the sword at the ghost, okay? And you can imagine, you cannot defend yourself. You may be able to swing the sword, but when he fights back, that's when you get in trouble. It's not that simple. So that's why even in my own disciples, I selectively allow them to meddle to teach them how to do it, to reassure them that they're at the level where they can meddle without any fear. Okay? But in general, I don't think that most people who gladly help you really understand the consequences. That's why I'm very reluctant to get engaged, because not just you, this person who asks, we can help, but then the problem doesn't get resolved, and they keep on coming at me, and not just me, because they can't do anything to me. And guess what? They're going to attack my habits. And then if they can't attack my habits, they're going to attack the vice habits. And then they're not going to be happy with that. They're going to keep on attacking, because we meddled. We're not solving any problems. We're only enlarging the wars, because whatever the debt, the karmic debt, the original one between the two of you, okay, is still there. It keeps on growing. It keeps accruing interest. Okay, it doesn't get resolved. We only create new debts between us and the offending parties. That's all we're doing. So that's why we don't meddle. That's not how we handle it. And I know it's not what you want to hear. This is not what most Buddhist disciples want to hear, because they're disappointed. They used to go into the temple and said, Master, please help. And they would say, okay, don't worry, I help you. Okay, and nothing gets solved. I don't happen to subscribe to that kind of thinking. If I'm going to do something, it's for benefiting everyone involved, benefiting the victim, benefiting the offender, also benefiting ourselves. That's the only way I do it. I will not, I don't feel that I have enough wisdom to say that just because you asked me to help, I can go in and say, okay, you cannot harm this person anymore. Okay? And the debt doesn't get settled. I'm only creating new debts. That's all. And that's not how we function here at our small world, small community. Okay? Again, I'm very sorry. It's the way you asked me to help, I cannot do it the way you like. All right. But you can try the other places. I know there are a lot of good people in Vietnam who's willing to do that. They can go to Thai temples. They have some kung fu. They can do that as well. Lots of people can help you out if you want it your way. Okay. Thank you for asking the question. Where are we? We're here. I spoke correctly, especially led. Why is he speaking correctly? He says, okay, your false thinking is like a child inside of the mother who's trying to get out. Okay, that's what he says. And so that's is at the end of this section. Okay. Any questions about this? Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. I had an experience I wanted to share that I think relates to the concept of false thoughts, like a child inside the belly, which might be funny coming from a guy. But last year I had the pleasure of experiencing a kidney stone. And my understanding is that's the closest a male can come to experiencing the pains of childbirth, or like having a child in the belly. And
I have no clues. Yeah. Go on.
And having experienced this, to share with those who haven't, it's not the end part that's the painful part. It's the part where the stone is passing through your belly, through your intestines. That's the part that's incredibly excruciatingly painful.
Oh, wow.
And I wanted to express my sincere gratitude to Master Z, because he allowed me to, for the first time, I think, push an affliction out of my diantian, and it felt like I was pushing a stone out of my stomach, letting go of the affliction, just like passing a kidney stone. And I felt better. I can't think of a better metaphor or analogy to describe that experience. I hadn't experienced it before, but just a small pebble that pushed out of me, and that was my affliction or my false thought.
And how did he help you push it out?
Well, I think
I know it's on the tip of their tongues. I'm sorry, I should have waited. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, ladies, men have mid-husbands.
Mid-husbands.
Yeah. You know, during childbirth, women have midwives, right? And they're the ones who are like, it's okay, push. Yeah. So men have mid-husbands.
Very graphic.
And no, in all seriousness, I think I was the one pushing, but just Master Z being there helped it be okay.
So you're pushing. Push.
Yeah. How many push?
The false thoughts, you mean?
Yeah, just to let go of the affliction, the false
So
thoughts.
wait. Graphically, this is what he's describing. He says he had this false thought in his tummy. And he says, is that how it works? I mean, this is how I see it in movies.
That's incredibly accurate, actually. Yeah, no, I literally couldn't sit with it. It was making me feel bad. And
Wow.
Master Z
Interesting.
always encourages me to focus on your dantian.
And so he said, lean back. And then,
Master, as you and anyone who watches Intertemple knows, I don't need anyone to encourage me to lean back. That just comes naturally.
so he didn't have to encourage you to lean back.
Yeah.
But he told you to.
Again, anyone who watches on Intertemple or knows me, when I'm crossing my legs, I'm blowing plenty through the pain. So that came naturally too. But
Okay. I'm trying to understand, the directions, the directives.
yeah. The big difference for me was, focusing on my dantian in this conversation was that it was as if I pushed this very small, sharp, somewhat weighted affliction out, and it was no longer sitting with me.
I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway, how interesting of
That's
an
okay.
analogy.
I just wanted to share.
Wow. Oh, so the affliction like a stone, like a kidney stone, and it's very painful, and you push it out. Yeah. Yes, 8.
I have a question. Where did it go?
Oh yeah. So like when the
Pushing it. So
Sure.
you're pushing it out your belly button, or you're pushing it somewhere else?
yeah. So like with the midwife, the midwife like catches the baby or whatever, depending on the velocity.
Same idea.
Yeah. So Master Z was there and he said, "It's okay, Peter. I can take it."
So he was standing there?
He was seated across the room, so I can only imagine it came out with some significant velocity to make it about 8 feet.
It's very graphic.
Wow.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, you guys have no clue what we men have to go through. I have no idea myself. Wow, this is fascinating. Thank you for sharing it with us. Is it really a man issue or? Okay, very good. Anyone else? Okay, now what we're learning is Chinese technology. Okay, it's sound technology where they're taught once they come to the temple, when they start this Fochi here, you should work vigorously. And the one thing that I find interesting is talking. Less talking. Okay, and maybe that's why I saw how in the Chinese temple I've been to, they all prefer to have a sign that says no talking, okay, 禁口 or 禁 whatever, okay, so now I can see why it came from Master Shenhua. This is a standard Chinese practice, by the way. I want to hear from the rest of you who experience somewhere else, like Hinayana people or Vietnam or whatever. Do you have that thing too in your experiences too, or no? Yes, in the back.
Master, we have another question. Is that okay? Not
Of
related
course,
to this.
yeah.
So YouTuber Vungvik also asked, hello Master, I would like to ask if you can instruct me on how to endure the pain when sitting in full lotus, overcoming the pain and be able to sit longer. I think you might have taught the disciple to do so. I really wanted to hear about your instruction.
Yeah, of course. The best thing for you is to follow the directions of the person who is teaching you how to sit, how to meditate. Okay, that's the best way. But in general, the general principles I teach to everyone, the plain vanilla approach is to sit a little bit longer each time. That's all you do. All you have to do is sit, let's say, 2 minutes longer, 1 minute longer, 30 seconds longer if you wish. That's all you can handle. And that process there will train your mind to be able to handle more pain naturally. Okay? Meaning that each time, this is very important, each time when you train yourself, while you're training yourself, once a day, you should break through, sit longer, do not unbuckle until you reached the time limit. And then after that, you can do anything you want. You can sit even longer or shorter, it doesn't matter. Just once a day, you need to train your mind not to quit. That's the purpose. The reason that you cannot handle the pain is 90% because you quit prematurely. Okay, and you're missing out on the great benefits of the training. Okay, and so talk to the person you're learning chant from. Okay, he or she can give you more details. Okay, very, very good. Okay, so he says you've been doing it better, more correctly. Okay, and also what I also noticed, Master Shenhua says less talking. Okay, because in the past people like to take a break. Okay, I feel that I don't see the spirit of you taking a break very rarely. Most of you are here because you appreciate the opportunity to do it, and you don't have a whole lot of time to be here. So that's why in America, it's because of how difficult it is for you to arrange to come here, take some vacation time and time away from your family and so forth. Once you're here, you have much better attitude. You work much harder, so you're less likely to take a break. Okay, but understand the dharma behind this is avoid taking breaks if you can. Okay, and then because once you take a break, one thing leads to another. You talk and you drink and then you socialize and so forth and so forth. Okay, and that's what's bad about it is that when you recite, you will build up this chi inside of your stomach and your navel area and your dantian, and if you can simply continue to build it up, okay, good things will happen naturally. If you were to take breaks more often, then it's a start and stop, start and stop, start and stop constantly. Therefore, you will lose momentum. Okay, that's number one. And number two is that not only do you lose momentum because the chi, you lose it, okay, but also your mind becomes more scattered. Okay, so that's why traditionally the Mahayana training, in whether it's recitation or chant meditation, we encourage you to work hard and not take breaks. Okay, and there's a reason for why we do 20 minutes, half an hour, or sit for an hour, and so forth. So those are from the patriarchs' great wisdom that help us have breakthroughs. So this is really, really great blessings for us to be able to hear again from his own mouth how to do it properly. Okay? Because it's a good thing. And however, my problem with these instructions is that they're very good. First of all, back then, it's very good because people had more time. And the problem we have right now, nowadays, when you try to recite, your cell phone vibrates. Okay? It's very difficult for you to be able to recite like for 2 hours, 3 hours, or the whole day, one morning, one afternoon, because you're receiving interruptions constantly. Okay? And this is the culprit right here. It vibrates. If you put it on silent, it vibrates. Okay? And so it's very difficult for us to be able to do what they used to. When I first started, didn't have a cell phone 30 years ago. And so much fewer distractions. Therefore, all you have to do is jinko, don't talk and don't take breaks. Nowadays, it's no longer possible to expect you to do that. I find that it's not possible because if I tell you, I don't care what happens, you should shut everything down for 1 day, for 2 days, for the whole week. Most of you can't do that. You have family obligations, you have work obligations, okay, among other things. You're hungry as well, okay? You lack freedom that bothers you, the heck out of you. You're afflicted. You need to let the child out, okay? Or the kidney stone out, okay? And so I feel that it's important to learn about the traditional style of practice because if you have a chance, if you were to be in isolation, you should follow this schedule here because this is designed, guess what? For you to do it without any instructions. Because that's what happens to all these people. Happens to his disciples now, really not much instructions anymore. You do something wrong, you don't know. Okay? And that's the best, it's not that bad over there. But outside the other temples, they don't have instructions either. Okay? And whatever instruction they have is really has advertising or selling you something or trying to kiss up to you instead of giving you instructions how to cultivate properly. Okay? So that's why these instructions are the traditional style of practice. Now you learned it. It's very important for you to follow if you were by yourself. Okay? And this is one of the best ways to do it when you're by yourself. Okay? The only thing I might add is remember, if when you do it by yourself, you recite the Buddha's name at home by yourself and so forth, all day and all afternoon. And that's what a lot of people told me. I've been reciting Buddha's name for 20 years, 30 years. I look at her and said, but you're so afflicted after 20 years to recite the Buddha's name. You should have not recited the Buddha's name because it's a waste of your time. I couldn't tell her that. A lot of these people, this is what happens to them. You know? And they're so proud. I said, they're so proud. I said, I've been reciting Buddha's name for 20 years or 15 years or 30 years or 40 years. Look at them. And that's all you got from 40 years of practice? Okay? Why is that? Because they only recited the Buddha's name and not listened to the Dharma every day. If you were to do it yourself, listen to his tapes. It may not mean much to you, okay, but just listen. Or listen to our tapes, our lectures, okay? It will be a lot more helpful to you. Okay? So far, so good? So this is the good side of this methodology. This Chan Damador, this Pureland Damador here that he transmitted, this is the traditional Chan, traditional Pureland practice. It works. Okay? It works pretty well. You do it right. Okay? Because it's designed for you to do it without anyone providing guidance for you. Because the patriarchs knew that already. This is the Dharma ending age where you don't find good no advisors anymore to help you. Not at all. So that's why they designed this style of practice. For Xi Yun got that. How old is Xi Yun? Xi Yun is like 100 years ago, no? No, 50, 60 years ago. Who's it for Master Xi Yun? All those people, even before Master Xi Yun, okay, the prior patriarch, I don't think that that good either. Anyway, so they knew these patriarchs, from Master Hsuan to Master Xu Yun, I don't know the one before him, they knew that without them, after they're gone, no one would guide the disciples. That's why I had to devise something to prolong Buddhism, to help you cultivate. That's why this Dharma door, this style of practice here, is very, very important. Okay? And you being trained to do that. Okay? And you've been hearing how to do it properly. If you do it this way, you will have a good chance. You do it like you alter it, okay, I will recite for, take a break when I feel like or whatever, okay, arbitrarily, and then you're missing out. There's a methodology behind here where it's designed to help you practice properly or correctly, if you will. So far, so good. This is a very important point I want to stress here. Okay? So after I'm gone, if no one can provide you good instructions, okay, this is what you do. All right? However, I'm not dead yet. Don't worry, you're not. Don't be in such a hurry to get rid of me. I know, you can't wait. Okay. But we do it differently because, as I told you, my concern is that this kind of environment, for us to tell you to give you the same instructions here, and meaning that, don't take breaks and so forth, we're going to lose 50% of you, of the newcomers, or the people who are here, because you know what? I can't, not this time. I thought I would be able to do it for 1 week, but it turns out my daughter is sick. Okay, I need to go back. Or I have an emergency at work, okay, and so forth. I need to deliver a baby. Okay, and so that's why I feel that we need to alter the Dharma for you a lot more. And so that's why we temper with it and we experiment it, and that's how we are. That's what we're doing right now. All I'm asking you is concentrate for the duration of you are in the Buddha hall. That's all. I'm not asking for more than that. If you have 5 minutes, give it your all for 5 minutes and go back and do your things. Okay? That's good enough. Why is that? Because you're creating tremendous amount of blessings for yourself if you simply just give it your all for the short duration you have. If you can, the more you can give it your all, the more blessings you will generate. Point number 1. Okay? If you're greedy, the longer you concentrate, the longer you do it. I know some of you don't like it. Some of you would like to sneak around, say, and come up with excuses. I like to do it, but I can't. I got to do this. I got to do that. It's okay. Okay. Don't need to make excuses. Just concentrate. You're here for 5 minutes. Give it your all for 5 minutes. That's all you have to do. Okay. Don't need to make excuses. Okay. Understand the point? You have to be true to yourself. I'm teaching you to be true in this practice. If you keep on faking it and making excuses, don't bother. You don't show up. It doesn't bother me either. Okay? But the point is that give it your all. Truly give all of yourself to it, just for the duration. That's all. Okay? And then you can look at girls, go BS, call home, order on Amazon, DoorDash. I can't care less. Okay? But I'm teaching you about being true to yourself and giving it your all. I want you to go back to your true self and really, really try your best. That's all. Okay? You do that, your blessings, as long as I'm here, as long as I'm teaching you, will be more than you do with the heart, the robot style. Namo Amito. Okay? Like they teach you. Okay? Namo Amito. And if you move the wrong foot, they will beat you up. Okay? So you're marching down around the Buddha hall like robots. Okay? And inside you say, look at me, see how good I am? I march like a robot. I'm so good at doing this nonsense. Okay, and this is what I was faced with when I first started teaching this Dharma door. So I said, no, we're not going to do it that way. I don't care. You can walk however you want to walk. Just don't run into the person ahead of you, okay, in front of you. Okay, so be true to yourself. I'm asking you to really give your all for that short duration that you can, muster everything you have, and just concentrate and recite in Buddha's name. Because you need to do that to generate blessings. Okay? And then next part is now, tonight. It's very important. If this is probably the most important part of the assembly, the Dharma talks. That's what makes us different from the Chinese. The Chinese, the Vietnam, the Sri Lankans, and the Thai, if they do this Dharma door, all copying this, they cannot copy the Dharma talk. Because the Dharma talk is designed to give you certain teaching. Okay? So that's why this is the most important part of your training, is to listen to the Dharma. Just listen, that's all. You don't need to agree, you don't need to understand, just listen. If you find it funny, laugh, okay? But you're curious, ask questions. You want to criticize, criticize, okay? But this is where miracles happen inside of you. Because, let me explain to you. Traditionally, because there's no one teaching you, no one really guiding you, that's why the patriarchs designed this process where you just keep on doing it, you naturally will break through with time. There's an analogy for it. It's analogous to you in Hinayana world going to the mountain and isolate yourself from all the men, all the women, from your dogs, from your cats, from your chickens. Some people also like pigs for pets, okay? And if you isolate yourself from all these stimulations, then your mind will naturally settle down, okay? And this is why people who recite Buddha's name for 40 years, 20 years, 50 years, okay, they don't understand the importance. It's not about reciting, it's about stealing your mind. So if you recite for 50 years and you recite a Namo Mitaphor and then you say, what are you doing? Don't make so much noise. I'm reciting, don't you know? I'm cultivating. Don't you have any respect? Okay, and so forth. So you recite and you get afflicted. You recite, you get afflicted. It's practically useless practice. The practice of this traditionally is they make you recite for one day, okay, and not take breaks, not talk, is the equivalent of going off to the wilderness and let your mind settle down because it's lack of stimulants. Okay? You're not going to be afflicted. No one to afflict you. Same thing here. They know that if when you're afflicted, you lose chi, you lose your concentration. That's why they said, I will not talk. So you reduce the talking, the interactions to others. Same thing as if you were in a wilderness. You see that? See a parallel? That's why they're very high on this Dharma door of no talking. So that's why, as you see, this Dharma door here, that's why they can draw people like Master Jin Kung, the late Master Jin Kung. He set up these places throughout, various countries. People come and recite the Buddha's name for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and so forth, according to the sutras. And people would come. There's no monks there, no nuns there, no instruction whatsoever. Okay? And it works for them. But they're getting nowhere. It's still better than nothing, but they're getting nowhere. We are a lot more customer-centric. We want you, when you spend time here, to get some real benefits, whether you're aware of it or not. Okay? And so that's why That's a big difference. When you have no advisor, you should follow the strict schedule and not talk and not watch TV, and not use on your phone there for a while and so forth. A whole day preferably, all month preferably. But it's not possible for most of you, okay? Because you don't realize that when you recite for 3 hours and then you get on your phone, you argue with your wife, that's it. All your 3 hours of recitation goes out the window that quickly because your chi, like your baby, got out. You see the principle behind it? So this is very sound instructions, sound technology. But for us, you don't have to worry about it because you simply follow instructions here and attend the lectures at night. You get a lot out of it, and in fact, you get a lot more out of it than the other way. Any problems? Any questions? Okay, so we train differently, and I'm more and more confident because over the years, the last 20 years, we get better and better results. You keep on improving. It used to be the case where I used to watch it, that they would come and do a chi, at the end of the chi, look at them, oh, you improve again, oh, you improve again. So it's like happening a lot to a lot more people. So we know our formula really, really works. Okay? There's one more reason why we do differently is because I look at the results of their practice. They got stuck with themselves. Okay, meaning that I'm so special. I don't have to talk to you. I don't take breaks and so forth. Inherently, you have this natural feeling that you're special. And that is what I'm trying to avoid. It's not that easy for you to be able to do. It's very tough for you to be able to do it for one day, for half a day, for let alone 1 week. And that's for at the end of 2 or 3 days, you say, wow, look at me. I'm so special. How many people can do it like me? Okay? And that's the most dangerous thing I'm trying to avoid. As soon as you see I'm so special, that's it. You're stuck. Can you understand that? I'm so special. I'm the president. It's the same, I'm president. You're stuck at where you are. I'm so special. I'm the best. To me personally, that's what I worked so hard the last 20 years to help you avoid falling into that trap. Because I will be the first person to yank you by the ears and say, no, you're not special, you idiot. There's so much more you can get. But you have to think you're special. Now my child is out. You enjoy yourself more when you don't fall into those traps. You don't need anyone to tell you you're special. You know it yourself. You like yourself more, bottom line. You don't need anyone to tell you because those people don't know you. How can they tell? They're lower level than you. Why would you need a guy out there you meet at Home Depot say, oh, you look so nice. You walk as if you were walking on clouds and look so adorned. You don't even know what you're talking about. Okay? You don't know it's an act I put on to get more donations. Be true to yourself. Okay? Don't worry about others judging you, approving you, or criticizing you. It doesn't matter. It's focus on it. And then you like yourself. That's what I want you to experience. Okay? You like yourself more and more and more. You know? And then one day, all of a sudden, your husband or your boyfriend is down here and says, why? You changed. I like it better than before. Okay? It comes because you're humble. You don't think yourself as special. And that's my biggest fear, folks. That I teach you and you walk out of here feeling, I'm so special. I'm better than they are. Exactly what the problem is. They think they're better. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. There's a question here from Daniel 7. Does anything bad happen health-wise if we just meditate without exercise? And does anything bad happen health-wise if we just exercise without meditation? Thank you.
I don't know. There's too many questions. Just do what you're told. And eventually you get it. I'm not going to try to explain too much to you. Okay? I only want to explain enough for you to be motivated to do it. You don't do it, it's your choices. Okay? Yeah, I can go on and on with you. You ask me a question, I answer, and you ask me next question, and guess what? I can answer too. I assure you, I can do this until 9 o'clock. Because I have so much information I'm not giving you. Because it's not helpful. Because all we do is talk. I want you to learn how to do it, number 1. Number 2, I want you to learn about the pitfalls that you want to avoid. Because these idiots were never taught about those pitfalls. You think you're special. That's one of your pitfalls. If you think you're enlightened, you think you're special, oh boy, you're so low. Because if you really have wisdom, you really understand at all, you don't think of yourself special at all. If that thought even arises, you're in trouble. You need to let go. Okay? You'll never find people here who says, I'm enlightened, I'm superior than you. We're all inferior. My master is so low, is so inferior. He never thought himself as better than anyone else. That's my motto. Yes, his disciple, number 9 right there, who's here to correct me about the things I say that are that contradict him.
Mô Phật và Thầy, có nhiều ta thắc mắc hỏi, Thầy bây giờ Thầy làm những cái bài vị nhiều rất là nhiều ở đây, rồi Thầy đi rồi đó, rồi ai mà giúp đây? Thầy con trả lời như vậy nè, nên là Thầy đi thì Thầy đi chứ cái Phật tánh của Thầy đâu có đi đâu, Phật tánh của Thầy còn ở thế gian này nữa mà, còn cứu những rất là nhiều người nữa mà. Mô Phật.
Sounds good.
Amitabha Master, there's a lot of people question that you have installed a lot of plaque. When you pass away, when you're gone, who's gonna help us with these plaques And so I explained to them that even though if masters go away, still his Buddha nature is still here. He doesn't go anywhere. He still come here. He still stay here to save and cross over a lot of people.
Okay. So what do you want? What does she want? Your friend? A better deal? I give her a better deal. What are they looking for? A better deal or what? Cái này hỏi móc hay là hỏi thật? I said this
Phật
is...
cái này là thực tế cho thầy. Thầy đi rồi, còn cái Phật tánh của thầy này thầy đâu có đi đâu. Ở đây phải cứu độ chúng sanh nữa chứ đâu phải đi. Thầy bỏ cái săn sát này rồi thầy đi rồi thầy đâu phải là đi ấy đâu. Mô Phật.
When I decided to help you, you're going to rest assured that is the best help possible I can give you. And if you can feel better help, I would be the first one to encourage you to go there. That's my personal pride. Meaning that I will not keep you here for the sake of keeping you here. I would rather you go get better help, okay? Because, see, I get emotional. Because if you get better help from someone else, I receive the blessings. If I keep you from getting better help, I lose blessings. I'm not here to lose blessings. I'm here to increase my blessings. Trust me. I'm very selfish. I'm not that stupid. I'm not stupid enough to think that I'm going to keep you here and say bad things about other people so that I don't lose you. If I'm afraid to lose you, I wouldn't call you losers and idiots and stupid. Even I call you idiot and stupid is to help you. Believe it or not. Okay? So all those people who say, okay, it sounds like they're not happy with it, and then you're not happy, then if I promise you there's a better deal, I will introduce you a better deal. In Buddhism, where I came from, where my master came from, we do things in order to benefit you. We never enter the equation. My master, this is why I idolize him, because he's the only monk, he's the only person I know who's really doing it for me. Never asked me for anything at all. Never, ever asked me for anything. I'm trying to live up to that standards. He never took advantage of anyone. All he did is to give. I'm trying to do that as well. I just do it differently. I don't like the way he does it. Some of the way he does it I disagree with. Okay? Like, in the question earlier, if someone asks him, someone has been harassing me, will you help me? He said, okay, no problem. Done. And then now the debt goes to him. And this other person, okay, continues to go back and does stupid things, continue to do stupid things. And then 5 years later come again and say, Master, will you help me again? Like, remember the story, that couple who, he says, who even the woman asked him, can you look and see if my purse is still there at the restaurant? Okay? And this is a kind of parasites he's got. None of you look like parasites because the parasites are gone. Okay. All right. And okay, are we in a new section? We have half an hour left.
Starts on 228.
228? Anything more? Okay, and those years, those habits and shortcomings have lessened a lot. So he's been watching them. Cannot say you have no habit energies. A tiny bit of energy left inside the stomach. Want to force his way out. And giving birth to the child, and forcing the child is too heavy. Chinese analogies, I don't understand it. I like the stones better. A child of yours inside the belly, chum-chums, wanted to run out. Talking of false thought of yours, shortcoming of yours, that's another analogy. Okay, so again, there's a lot of analogies here that I can't connect with. It's I'd rather you folk go back to concentrate on the Buddha's name, on your meditation. Of course, we're going to wonder. Our minds will wander. Just come back to it as soon as you're aware. This is a very important part of your training. It's not about being free of afflictions, being free of thoughts, being free of false thoughts. The way they do it here is, it's for babies. For you, I want you to be aware that you are false thinking quicker, and as sooner you're aware of it, all you have to do is go back to reciting Buddha's name. That's all. That's all you have to do. Do it as quickly as possible. All right? It's far better than worrying about, all these false thoughts and being free of afflictions and free of false thoughts. That's not going to happen, trust me. I find myself explaining that to you because some of you still don't get it. Okay? You recite Buddha's name. Let me simplify it for you. Recite Buddha's name. Okay? And recite. In between the two Buddha's names, false thoughts will arise. That's what happens to you constantly. Yeah? For example, boy, it's so cool this year. For me, it's so hot tonight. Anyway, okay? And so the false thoughts arise. And let me explain to you the training I'm trying to teach you here. Is that, of course, the false thoughts will arise naturally with you. It's a good thing. It's natural. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay? All I'm asking you, all you have to pay attention to when a thought arises, don't follow it. That's all there is to it. It sounds like here you should be free of false thought. That's baloney. There's no such a thing. You have a body. You have ears here. You have your nose here. Okay? Walk by here, you smell, oh, is that Sandana incense? It sounds like some cheap incense that you buy from a grocery store that kind of tickles your nose and makes your eyes watery. The thoughts will arise naturally, okay? Don't follow those thoughts. So go back, ignore them. That's all you do. This is all you have to do all day long. For 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, that's what you do. For them to say no thought arises, that's not the training I'm interested in giving you at all. That's Hinayana training. It's useless to me. It's okay if you have no one to teach you, no one to pull you back when you're wrong. You go off wrong, I pull you back, we pull you back, okay? But if you're by yourself, you should stick to this style. But with our environment, it's so much better for you to do it our style because you will progress a lot faster. And you go a lot further than they do. Remember, the way they do is that they've put themselves in this trap to think they are special. I've seen too many of you reciting for 20 years, for meditating for 40 years, coming to me and say, see, I've been meditating for 40 years. Look and say, 40 years and you this low? Sunim? Monk? Patriarch? Is that all you got? Okay? So go back. Again, your training is while you're here in the Buddha Hall. Okay? Nam Mito Pho, Namo Mito Pho. Okay? In between, thought to arise. I don't care. Pull back. Don't follow. Just like someone walking by. That's all. Don't look. Don't look. They walk by, they walk by. Okay? The thoughts pop in your head, let them pop. Ignore them. Don't do anything. That's all you have to do. That precisely. Okay? And when you stop and you go to the bathroom, you go to the lunch hall, and you go and take a walk around there, and you see no one, keep on reciting. You see someone and you want to ask you a question, I'm cultivating. Let me tell you about our style of cultivation. You hear, I want you to give it your all to meditate and recite Buddha's name. That's all you do, okay? And not follow the false thoughts. But when you're outside of the Buddha hall, okay, I want you to learn about kindness and compassion. This is what these people, these Chinese and the Vietnam and the Korean people lack, is they lack kindness and compassion. I've seen it in my entire career. They practice for 50 years. I've been to this Korean temple. They're not bad level. Not that high, but not bad. But I see them totally lacking in kindness and compassion. That's why they are there. No one ever prepared them to go beyond that. In order for you to go beyond it, you need to have kindness and compassion. That's their problems. That's all their problems in the traditional style of training. They lack kindness and compassion. It's not going to happen to you, you hear? I will beat you up until you become kinder and more compassionate. I'll kick you out, you don't make it. We have standards here. There are plenty of good people I can help who needs help, who want help. You understand? I'm giving you, I'm preparing you to avoid the pitfalls of being stuck. That's my biggest fear, that you'll be stuck prematurely. You have so much more you can achieve, you can get, and you can enjoy yourself so much more. But you choose to be stuck. That's why we're different. We're different because I try my best not to let you get stuck. But some of you choose to be stuck. Eventually I throw you out, I assure you. Because we'll have limited space, have limited time. It's not that bad. It won't happen for a while. At the rate we're growing, one more new person per chi. Could be a long time before this fills up. Try your best. Don't worry about it. Don't think too much. Okay? Yeah. There's a lot more going on. Okay? I'm training you on a new style of chi, a new style of cultivation, which I feel works better for all of you in this Dharma ending age, okay? Because I'm still here, okay? And it's proven to work better than their traditional style. I base this on results. It's not wishful thinking, meaning that you got a lot further, a lot faster than their style. Somehow, the patriarchs, I feel, underestimate you. They are not worried about you getting there, but they don't have provisions to help you avoid being stuck. I see my master disciples being stuck, and that makes me disappointed that they were not prepared for that. I don't respect patriarchs for that reason. Patriarchs somehow don't do a good job preparing the students to avoid them being stuck. You have so much more. You can get so much more out of this if you avoid getting stuck. Okay? All right. But then, not many people understand that or believe that. Another analogy, a real child, correctly, he's a child thing is a child inside the belly. Okay. So this for chi is scared of. Okay, this is a new section. We have about 15 minutes left. Any questions? I spent 20 years teaching now, and that's one of the things that I find myself unable to do is to unstuck people. If you're so satisfied with yourself for too long, it's not possible to unstuck you. I have not been able to do that. And not only do you fail to unstuck yourself, and I can't help you, you also start creating offenses that will make it even harder for you to unstuck yourself. It's vicious cycles. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. Is it because somehow our ego gets involved?
Yeah, many reasons. There's many reasons. The main thing is for you to understand that you don't want to be stuck, because it's like it's a death sentence to me. There's so much more you can get out of this, out of life. Why you want to stuck yourself and be satisfied with so little? Huh? You're such a small thinker. You think so small. You're so much more. You really underestimate yourself. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. So how can we realize that we're stuck?
If you're stuck, and I tried, and see it doesn't work, that's when I consider throwing you out. Because maybe you have a better chance somewhere else, because I can't help you. There are 2 reasons why I would ask you to leave. 3. Number 1, okay? You break the rules and regulations. That's not okay. I will throw you out. Number 2, you surpass me. I can't help you anymore. You should go somewhere else. Because if you stay here, you'll be influenced by me. Number 3, I tried to unstuck you. And I see that I come to the end of my rope. I don't know what else to do. That's when I said, someone else should give it a try. Because I won't be the one who'll be holding you back. Never on purpose. Okay? But for most of you, it's not likely it's going to happen this lifetime where I will hold you back. I see it already, how far you can go. Okay? Anyone else? Anything else? Okay, let's do this, the next section, since we have some time left. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Master. Is there any point in which we would try to do an all-day Amitofo, like just stay in a room and just do it all day?
You can do whatever you want. Who's stopping you?
I guess I was just asking whether it's better to just go with the schedule as it's done, or like actually try that one day.
Have you been able to follow the schedule for 7 days?
Not 7 days.
And why do you ask for more? Are you wasting my time? You need to do what you told first, well. Then you ask me, can I do more? Don't ask me stupid questions like that. What happens to your brains? I thought you smart. Why are you even asking stupid questions like that? It's so simple. There's a Dharma here that we're teaching you. I explain a lot more than I'm supposed to. You still are not able to do that, and you ask for more? Listen to yourself. Stop this nonsense. Stop throwing crap at me. That's crap to me. Do you hear? I'm calm. Continue.
So, this year, this Fochi was carried out completely and perfectly.
Okay, DTT has a question. Of course.
Yumi, we cannot hear you.
들리세요?
Yeah, we can hear you, dear.
그 대중 법회를 할 때 저희가 법당을 돌기 전에 이렇게 나가는 순서가 있잖아요. 근데 제가 이제 제가 백그라운드 인포메이션을 갖고 있는 게 뭐냐면 한번 끊을게요.
Master, I'm going to go ahead and provide the background information, but the question is about the order to go out to do the circumambulate the Buddha hall.
그런데 이제 제가 궁금한 건 제가 이제 갖고 어떤 정보를 들었냐면 이렇게 로브와 가사를 입지 않은 사람이 로브와 가사를 입은 사람보다 앞에서 법회를 하게 되면 일상복을 입은 사람이 복을 잃는다. 그러니까 로브와 가사를 착용한 사람보다 앞에 선 상태에서 법회를 진행하면 로브와 가사를 입지 않은 사람이 복을 잃는다라는 제가 백그라운드 인포메이션을 갖고 있는데 그게 맞는 건지를 첫 번째 좀 질문 드리고요.
If someone without robe and sash happen to be standing in front of people who's wearing robe and sash, they might lose the blessing for the people without the robe and sash.
근데 제가 잘못된 정보를 갖고 있는 건지를 질문 드립니다.
I'm wondering if I receive a wrong information about this.
It's not wrong if you were to go to a Chinese temple. That's what you're supposed to observe, that kind of order. But unfortunately, at most Chinese temples, the people who wear the 5 precept sashes don't deserve to wear them. That's a sad truth. Do you deserve to wear the 5 precept sash? I'm asking you.
네.
You do? Okay, very good. Okay. If you feel you deserve to wear it, then you have the right to walk ahead of people. Okay? That's what you do. Don't worry about the others. You're looking at the wrong side of the equation. Yes, the rules say that, yes, you're supposed to walk ahead of others, but if others walk ahead of you, they lose blessings, whatever, it's none of your business.
와서 저는 그 법당을 걷는 걸 질문하는 게 아니라 법회 보는 도중에 그렇게 가사를 입지 않은 사람, 일상복 입은 사람이 앞에 서게 되면 물론 제 일은 아니긴 하지만 그 사람이 복을 잃는 것 때문에 제가 또 원인 제공을 하는 걸까 봐 질문을 드린 거거든요. 걱정돼서.
I'm worried about the people without robe and sash. Rather than circumambulating the Dharma hall, I'm more asking about during the ceremony, the people without the robe and sash standing in front of other people, and then they will lose their blessing.
Standing or walking is the same thing. Okay? It's no difference. Well, that's a rule that the Chinese would like to impose, and it's not a bad rule. I know that in our temples, Many of the people who come to the temple don't understand the sashes. That's why the rules are loosely enforced. In particular, you have people who come here for the first time and they happen to not know what they're supposed to do. Okay, it's our fault because typically in this environment, we're supposed to have someone back there to do the traffic, to direct the traffic. We don't. And we don't do that because for whatever the reasons, sometimes we're short-handed, sometimes people are lazy, they don't feel like doing it, and so forth. Whatever the reasons is, if mistakes are made, I absolve them. It's not a problem at all for those infractions. They won't get in trouble, they won't lose any blessings, none whatsoever. Because we're not a Chinese temple, we're not in China, we're not in Vietnam, we're not in Korea. So we are in the United States of America, and we're trying to do MAGA. And therefore, we are growing pains, you know. We don't do some things are wrong. When things are done wrong, I take responsibility. None of you has to pay. And you only look at the minor things, the offenses you've been creating at the temple. If I didn't absolve them for you, you'll be in big trouble. Have you thought about that? But you keep on creating offenses. I will stop one of these days. I will stop protecting you, and you have to leave. The point gets home, huh? You see, stop looking at others. Look at yourselves. Now we're talking. Would you like to bring it up? The offenses? Thank you. Nothing like gentle persuasion. No threats intended. Okay, we all screw up. Come on, folks. I'm the first one to admit to you. When I was in my master's temple, I messed up so badly. I was a bad boy. You can't imagine how bad I was. And I read everywhere it says, if you stole from the temple, boy, are you in deep potatoes. And I used to go out and steal fruits from the fruit trees. I had a city of 10,000 Buddhas. I said, damn, that's it. My life is ruined because even the Bodhisattvas cannot help me. Didn't stop me. So I know that someone had to help me. That's Master Shenhua. Okay? There's a lot of things that we're doing to help you, without which you can't make it. We know that. You know, like the Vietnamese temples, they let their disciples take the 8 precepts, and then there's no room, so they all sleep in the Buddha hall. You know, and it is that if you go to the Buddha hall and you stretch your legs straight. Anyone have done it? Okay. you will become a snake. And all the Vietnam temples, they take the 8 precepts and at night, they sleep. Or lunch, they sleep. And there is no place for them. So they sleep in the Buddha hall, lying down. Oh, this is so nice. I'm sleeping near the Buddha. And that's why there are lots of Vietnamese snakes, you know that? It's scary, and I know I make a light of a lot of things, but if you become snakes because I did not teach you properly, guess what I'm going to become? A python. You see? So that's why people don't realize there's a lot more going on we need to do to take care of you, to help you, because you're going to screw up, you're going to make mistakes. Okay? Instead of helping others there, fight the voodoos and so forth, we're so busy taking care of your screwballs. So you screwballs, your mistakes left and right, you stealing this, you stealing that. We have to fix it for you. We're just too busy taking care of it to worry about, about fighting, taking on more burden than we don't have to. Okay? Anyway, there's lots of things we know that we're supposed to do it properly, otherwise you get in trouble, and when we know you get in trouble, we don't fix it, we'll get in trouble ourselves. See, there's a lot more going on in cultivation than you realize. Okay, thank you everyone for your patience. We stop here tonight.